We're going full Flavortown with Guy Fieri's own Santo Tequila. We're building a bacon wrap masterpiece loaded with tequila-poblano queso, tomatoes, cherry peppers, crispy jalapeño coins, and Guy's signature sauces. Buckle up, because this dog's gonna be, as Guy would say, money. And this is the Hot Dog Show. Here's why we're doing this. I actually crossed a big one off my bucket list and met Guy Fieri last Sunday. We got a photo with him, I shook his hand, and I even gave him my Hot Dog Show card. So today, this isn't just another crazy hot dog. This is my way of saying thanks to the mayor of Flavortown for inspiring me to do a food show on YouTube. One of the things that he said to me right when I first walk up, he goes, you know, you can't drink all day. And then I looked at him and I go, if you don't start in the morning. So we got to get it started up right with our Santo Tequila. Not only am I going to do one, but we got to get this camera guy's hand a little bit more steady. He's got the shakes. Cheers, man. Love you, buddy.
Cheers, same, bro.
Super smooth.
Welcome to Santo Spirits.
All right, so now for the molten lava that we're gonna put on this stuff. We are making the Santo Tequila infused Blanco queso. And to do that, we've got to get this poblano right onto the grill so we can get it blistered up. We're gonna throw our pepper down, and I'm gonna give it a nice little squeeze of oil because I really want this thing to get nice and blistered. And the oil's gonna give you a little bit of that. So we're just gonna let that sit there. And while we're doing that, we're gonna chop up some garlic and some onion to get started on this queso. All right, so we're gonna mince up some garlic. And now we're gonna just go in with our onion. And we don't need a lot for the sauce, just a little bit. So I'm just gonna slice it this way, and I'm gonna give it, again, we want a nice tight dice. We're gonna take a little bit of cornstarch, and we've got our white cheddar that we're doing for our poblano, and we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit of this cornstarch in with our white cheddar. It's gonna do two things for us. One, it's gonna keep our white cheddar from clumping. Two, it's also gonna thicken our sauce really nicely. If you do this at home, pull your cheese, shred it right up. It's gonna keep it from coagulating. Coagulating. We are coagulating. All right, so we're pulling our poblano. It's nice and hot. We're gonna put it in our plastic bag, and we're just gonna let that steam up. That steam is gonna release the skin, and once that's done, we're gonna pull the skin off of that and get started on our cheese sauce. We're gonna go in first with some neutral oil, then our onions. What we're looking for here is just to get the onions translucent. So we'll let these go for just a little bit, then we'll get our garlic going. So our poblano has steamed. It's looking great. We're just gonna pull some of this black stuff off, and I'm gonna get it going. And don't worry if you don't get all the black stuff, all of the char off of it. A little bit of that char is gonna go a long way. Gonna add a little bit of smokiness into your queso. And we're gonna put this in. We wanna make sure we get this in before we put the tequila in, because we want these vegetables to soak up all of that goodness. All right, that looks good to me. Now, we're gonna de-seed, which should be as easy as just pulling the top off like this. We're gonna open this baby up. We're gonna take the back of our knife and just pull these seeds out. All right, so I'm just gonna run my knife lengthwise down the poblano like this, cutting it into strips. Give it a good chop. We don't want any big pieces of poblano in there. We want this to really meld with our cheese. All right, we gotta get on those onions. So our onions are good. We're gonna drop in some butter. We're gonna drop in some garlic. We're gonna let that get fragrant. Give it a quick stir. Those onions, those little brown bits on the onions are gonna give a little sweetness to this, which is gonna be really nice. It's gonna be what we want. And our poblano is gonna go in. We're just developing layers and layers of flavor, because remember, we're going to Flavortown, baby.
That's Flavortown.
So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna throw in about a shot of that tequila. We're gonna let that bubble up. We're gonna let the booze cook off of it, because we're really just going for the flavor of the tequila. The next thing we've got about a half cup of half and half, and I'm gonna reserve a little bit back just in case I wanna thin out my cheese sauce. That's cold half and half. We're gonna let this warm up. Oh my God, that looks amazing. Actually, let's talk cheese real quick. We're using deli sliced white American. I wanted to go a little bit better quality American cheese just because I know it'll melt really well and it's going to give us a creamier, just a creamier taste. And we're just going to put in a little bit at a time. I think this is about 4 ounces of American cheese. And got to be careful that you don't get your milk too hot because you don't want it to separate. You don't want this to be a grainy sauce. You want it to be a nice smooth sauce. Let it melt down and just keep stirring until it all gets incorporated in and creates a smooth consistency of cheese sauce. All right, so we're going in with our cheddar, and if this were a cooler day outside, it would not be quite as clumpy, and not super concerned that it's gonna be clumpy, but when you do this, you're definitely gonna want to make sure you're grating the cheese, and then after you grate the cheese, don't let it sit. Make sure that it's still nice and cool, and put your cornstarch on it then. That's gonna keep your cheese from clumping up, and it's gonna make your cheese sauce nice and smooth. Looking amazing. Now we're just gonna add in a little bit of heat, about a half teaspoon of cayenne and a whole teaspoon of paprika. Just gonna incorporate that. And like I said, if your sauce feels a little thick, if it feels a little tight, just throw a little more milk or a little bit more half and half. And I think I'm gonna do that because as we cook our dogs, this sauce is gonna tighten up just a little bit. So we're going in with just a little bit more half and half. God, that looks amazing. So we're just gonna get the bacon wrap beauty going. Our dog has been heating up in the water. As you know, we like to give it a quick little steam. And then I wanna make sure my bacon's on even because obviously we're thinking about how this is gonna look on the end as well. You don't want any curled up pieces like that. And we're just gonna take our hands and let that bacon get on. And now you know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for a slappity dog. Time to put the cherry peppers on. These are gonna give it a little sweet heat. We're going on with a little bit of oil. We've got our cherry peppers and I've cored them out just to give it a little bit more of that Santo Tequila flavor. We're gonna shoot that on. That's going in like that. And check this out, baby. Woo! That's some Guy Fieri flambe right there, baby. Pulling these cherry peppers, the flambe. Fiery dog, Fiery Fieri. One of the things I noticed when I tried this recipe out was that it really needed a little bit of acid and it needed a little bit of freshness. So we're just gonna take a Roma tomato. I'm gonna quarter it. Almost got away from me. And yes, we're gonna seed it. I don't want any of these seeds coming in on the dog. Right, so to get these diced up lengthwise this way, we're going for even as we can get it. So this is gonna give us a little bit of a bright note, a little bit of acidity. We're gonna add to this acidity by giving it a shot of a little bit of lime juice. We're gonna take a half a lime. Living in Southern California, it's amazing because if you're lucky enough to have citrus in your backyard, you could just pull one right off the tree. There is a good amount of heat in the Fieri sauces, and there's a good amount of heat with the cayenne and our queso. If you're like me and you like a little bit of heat, you're gonna go in with the full Serrano. And again, we're gonna slice lengthwise, dice down the side, and I want these to be pretty small dices. All right, so we've got that. That's gonna go back into our bowl like that. It's almost gonna be a little bit like a salsa, right? We're gonna go in with a little bit of our squeeze of our lime. Oh, beautiful limes today, beautiful limes. The lime gods are smiling on us. And then we're just gonna hit that just to bring out all that flavor, a little bit of kosher salt. Now, this is also gonna bring a little sweet heat with our cherry peppers, and we're gonna slice these up because we want each of our bites to have a little bit of that, and just a rough chop on these. Don't wanna go down too small. And then those are going in. We're gonna clean up. And when we get back, I'm telling you, we are about ready to build this thing. It's hotter than a two-pecker billy goat out here. Woo! Okay, so we are ready to build. We've got our cheese up here. First up, I know this is gonna sound weird to a lot of people, but it is a hot dog. And I'm gonna tell you, the brightness from this mustard is just gonna give it a little bit of a hit. And you know, a lot of times when you're making like a beer cheese sauce or any kind of cheese sauce, you can use a Dijon mustard in it anyway. So this is just gonna give it a little bit of that brightness. Next up, we're gonna go on with our queso. And there's no reason to be stingy with that. And I'm trying to get it right in between the buns. Who doesn't like a little cheese between their buns? All right, so we've got our queso on. Next up, we're gonna go in with some of our flambéed cherry peppers. That's gonna give it a hit of nice color, heat, some sweet. Oh, amazing. Now, we've got our lime and serrano tomato salsa. This is gonna give it just a little bit of like nice heat, a little pop of brightness. And I know if you're probably saying to yourself, oh my God, that's a lot of stuff on a hot dog. But man, what else are you gonna do for the mayor of Flavortown? We're going on with our chipotle. And a little bit of this is gonna go a long way. But then you gotta come in with a little bit of this poppin' jalapeno. Oh, I mean, if that doesn't just look beautiful. Finally, we want the crisp and the crunch. You could pick these up. These are just like, I mean, could you imagine green bean casserole with crispy jalapeno crunches like that? Oh, that's what I'm talking about. We got to get some of that crispy crunch on the top. And just as a final little garnish, come on, we got to go in with the lime. And of course, some of you guys don't like cilantro, but I like a little green in there. And we're just going to go down just with a touch of it like that. All right, worthy of the mayor himself, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Santo Tequila Flavortown hot dog. Oh yeah, baby. Up next, all we got to do is just taste this thing. But, I mean, we've got to pair it with the tequila, right? It's a bite of the dog. It's the shot of the tequila. Oh, beautiful. All right, so you got to have a little lime with your tequila, and we're going to do that with our dog as well. A little fresh right to go on top. Oh, a little bit of this. Little sip of this. Delicious. And now, oh baby. Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. That is legit one of the best hot dogs I've ever made. I'm not even, seriously, with the tequila. The sip, the snappiness of the bacon, the creaminess of the queso, just hints of tequila, and the crispiness of these little jalapeno crunchies on top. That with the brightness of the tomato and the serrano, it's not too hot at all. And of course, tying it all together is that smoky chipotle sauce and that bright, fresh jalapeno sauce. Flavortown, oh my goodness. Can I be a resident? Can I move into Flavortown? Oh my God, this is delicious. Oh man, creamy tequila queso, smoky bacon, fiery peppers, crispy jalapenos, and all of those Flavortown sauces tying it together. Guy, if you're watching, thanks for taking the time last Sunday, man. I really appreciate it. This hot dog's for you. Until next time, keep your buns steamy, your dogs loaded, and don't forget the tequila. Woo, baby. Subscribe, watch more, and buy some merch.